Welcome to Nana Sue's Crafts. These are tags that I have repurposed from greeting cards that I've collected over the years, and I find it's a nice way to turn my tag into a little keepsake. So with a gift you are then presenting this nice tag which can be kept, and it's a nice memento then, an addition to your whatever gift it is that you are giving. You could of course use them for hanging on your Christmas tree, for decorations. You could pop them onto a garland as well. You could make a garland out of them. Using Sizzix Bigz clear dies, you can easily cut out the particular part of the card that you want without any tracing and measuring. It's quite simple and straightforward to do. So maybe have a look for these Sizzix Dies, and this is one which I have a number of them. This is, they're called clear, Bigz clear die, and as I say, I don't think they are sort of in production now, but you may well find, if you go onto the well-known market sites, that you would be able to pick one or two up. This particular one I find very useful for this particular purpose. Also, you can get rectangles, squares, all sorts of sort of tag shapes. So it's worth having a look out for these. And I will now demonstrate and cut one of these shapes using my Sizzix Big Shot machine and this die. I'll just bring my machine over, and for the Bigz dies you just need a plate. There's your card, and why these are so good is that you can position it just where you want. You can see where you're cutting, which is very useful. And then another plate on top, and away we go. I like the nice little hole here, so I can safely pop out the shape, as they are very sharp. Hence you can cut so many different types of fabrics using these Sizzix Bigz dies. Now we have this piece cut out, and next step is to punch the holes needed for crocheting through. Now this one has this nice scallop, so it's quite easy to see, and I'll do this from this side so you can see better what it is I'm punching out. So I have the guidelines here, so it's quite nice and easy to see where I'm punching. There we are. There's a little bit of wording still showing on here. Not that that matters, because once you've crocheted around it, won't really be visible. And don't need to get too stressed over exactly where you're punching. It's just a guide, because as I say, once you've crocheted it, it won't really show too much. I just move around, doing my hole all the way around, nearly there. This is quite a tough card, this one, a glossy one, so just needs a little bit of help to ease it through there. There we go. And the last one. There. Now, all I need to do is to do the crochet part. And for this, I've got a rather nice glitz double knitting yarn from King Cole. It's perfect for Christmas time, with all the red, green and white and the glitter in there. There we are. Just make sure I'm not doing the wrong strand. There we go. Right. I'll just do a simple slip knot onto my hook. Now for this I have to decide just where I want my hanging loop to be, and here I think it would be nice just about there. So I'm taking my hook into the first hole, yarn over and pull through the loop, bring it up, yarn over and pull both loops off the hook. Now I'm going to go back in to the same hole, yarn over, bring up the little loop to just to the edge so it's comfortable, sits comfortably on the top there, and both loops through. Move to the next one, yarn over, and the next, yarn over and both loops off. And I now just move around doing the same all the way around. So I'm doing 2 double crochets into each hole, and if you wanted to, you could go round a second time and do some more fancy edgings. I'm just doing this very basically. You can see on there what's happening. There we go. And the trick is just not to pull it too tight. You must have the loop resting at the top there, and then pull both stitches through, both loops through rather, there, and both loops through. You don't want to pull it tight. Now I will finish this one off another time. That gives you an idea, gives a pretty little edging all the way around. I will go back to that one later. Now, something else that I discovered was this. Another, well, it says Sizzix. It's a very, very old Sizzix Bigz die, or deep dish dies they're sometimes called. It's A10750, but it was an original Ellison one, which is the company that is Sizzix, or known now as Sizzix. Ellison was the original company for it, and this is called a lacing square. I was lucky to find this, and it was brand new, so it had obviously never been used. Now I've just cut a square card, and it does just give you a square card, and all I've done is just curve the corners, because you don't want corners, you don't want sharp angles to do this type of stitching around, because otherwise you'll have the corners will be poking out, so you want a nice smooth curve to do your stitching on. And I will just briefly do some more stitching on here so that maybe you can see a little more clearly how this was done. And I'm going to start at this end. I'll start at the top corner, or I'll call that my top corner. So that's the hook in. Always work from the front. Take your yarn round your hook and bring this loop up. That is important, and don't make it too tight. And pull both loops through. Back through, bring the loop up, yarn over, and take both loops off. Back in, yarn up, both loops off, and do a fourth one, fourth stitch, yarn over, and both loops off. Now for this, because you've got a bigger gap between, if you do 2 chain and then into your next hole, yarn up, yarn over, and pull through, hook it through, yarn up, both loops off, and do a third stitch, yarn over, pull the loop up, yarn over again, both loops off. 1, 2 chain, bring the loop up, both loops off. And third. And you'd work along like that. Now for instance, if I were to use my little tool there, I could make a stitch additional hole higher up, and I show you difference that would make. You now don't need another stitch in between this small hole. Yarn through and make just one stitch, one double crochet. Then we go straight to the next hole that's further down and repeat. Do 2 stitches into that hole. In the smaller hole here, just do 1 double crochet. Oops, sorry, I started from a different end there. Into the corner, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, into the next hole, just work 1 double crochet, then into the next, we want 1 2, and then just 1 into the next. So you can see how that you can just adapt these stitches and the amount of stitches according to the gaps and the spaces that you have. And you see how that with 1 in between gives a different effect, which is quite attractive, and it does save you cutting out a lot of holes using this die. So if you can manage to track one of those down, then you could cut out fabric, felt and fleece fabric, all sorts of fabrics, and make coasters from them and stitch around. No sewing needed. There. So it's just a little idea to be going on with, and I hope you enjoy perhaps making some for yourself. Thank you for watching.